Hey y'all, it's Jen. How you been? Today we're going to be making a journal cover using items from the Dollar Tree. You're not going to believe how easy and stylish it looks. Stay tuned and see how it's done. So first I'm showing you a little journal I've gotten started from a composition notebook. I've just been kind of using it as an art journal and putting extra surplus paint onto it that I have left over. Just little experimental things I've started to work on. So we're going to be using that to fit a cover around. Then I grabbed these rolls of vinyl paper from the Dollar Tree and we're going to test them today and see if they're good quality and if they hold up and if they're a decent deal. Then I got a pack of 2 chopping mats. They are clear, they're plastic, and they're pretty thick. And these are all items from the Dollar Tree. This is a punch that I have. It's a Fiskars punch. It's for thick materials. So if you have any kind of punch that you like, maybe stars, whatever shape you'd like to use to design your traveler's notebook cover, you're going to want to use that. I got a hole punch, but I ended up not using that. And you're also going to need some kind of X-Acto knife or a box cutter to trim up the cover. So you can see I am taking out one of the chopping mats. I took the other one, it comes with 2. I took the other one and put it in my kids' playroom so that they'd have a place to play with their Play-Doh on without it staining any tabletops. You can use, these are so versatile, you can use these for a lot of different purposes. We have crows outside, a dump truck. I just hope you guys can't hear that stuff. But I'm wrapping the plastic around just to see how much I'm going to have to cut off to cover my journal. And I also was looking at it, trying to decide what side do I want to put my little designs on. So you're going to want to fit your cover to the size of the journal that you want. As you can see here, I'm just using my metal ruler and my X-Acto knife to trim the cutting mat. So I've already cut down the mat to the height that I want, and now I'm seeing the width that I need to cover my journal. And then I'm just going to cut that as well. So as you can see, I have finished cutting my cutting mat to the size I want for my journal, and I'm just kind of playing around and making sure that it's going to fit before moving on to the next step. Now the fun begins and we get to test out this vinyl. I was amazed at how much vinyl we got in this pack. It's a pretty big roll. And so I cut a piece off to start with, and I'm taking my hole punch and I'm just figuring out a way that I can punch them out easily. It kind of curled up on me a lot, so I decided to fold it in half just to try to straighten the vinyl. But I used my punch and I was able to punch out some little flower shapes, and it cut pretty decently. Some of the flowers have a little bit of like a rough edge to them. But once you start sticking these shapes on your cover, you're going to see that it looks pretty decent. And once I got a lot of daisies punched out, I was just folding the cover just to decide what side I wanted to stick my daisies to. There's a matte side and there's a clear side, and I've already forgotten which side I chose. But I laid my mat down on my cutting mat, and this is a really good technique because you're able to make sure everything's even, especially when you're laying out a pattern. So here I'm just trying to figure out how to unstick the vinyl from the paper backing, and I am putting them down every other inch, and I'm using the lines to, make sure that the flowers are centered. And I'm changing, like every other flower is turned just to have some variety in the pattern. And as I'm sticking down these daisies or flowers, it is sticking the cutting mat or the chopping mat to my cutting mat below. So yeah, that's helpful too. Like this all just came together. It just worked out like flawlessly, you know, with the materials I have here. And I just started to unstick the vinyl stickers just with my fingers, just like you're gonna peel a sticker. And that seemed to go faster than trying to use, you know, an X-Acto knife. So you can see I've staggered the pattern, and you can see that the craft mat below the chopping mat is helping me guide my pattern. So yeah, I would suggest definitely using a crafter's mat below if you want, but if not, you're just gonna have to use a ruler and some kind of wipeable marker. Or you can just stick them, you know, willy-nilly and have a more organic look to it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So this is how I designed the cover. I used this vinyl and kind of made it like a sticker. You don't need a special like Cricut machine or cutting machine. All you need is a craft punch of your desired shape to do this. And it worked out pretty good. Oh, you can see I'm fast approaching the end. I'm getting excited. It's looking good. It's looking like a real pattern. And when I remove it, well, later on, towards the end of the video, I remove it from the craft cutting mat below, and it looks so cute. So far, it's just like looks like it's stars on a blue mat. But yeah, I'm just finishing this up, and altogether the process did not take that long. I would say the whole thing took probably 3 hours over the course of 2 days. So I finished with this first part, and now I'm kind of laying out my scraps of vinyl just so you get an idea of how much in total I used, and I still have a ton left over. So now I'm grabbing my white vinyl so I can create the centers of my flowers. And same deal, pretty good quality, very glossy. I tried several punches. I did a regular office hole punch, and then I tried to use this crocodile, but it was so hard to peel the backing off from the vinyl. So I just hand cut the circles, and it turned out really well. I thought it gives a more abstract and organic look to it. So I would suggest to just hand cut the circles out and stick them down. So I just did this for a while. It was very meditative, and you're gonna enjoy the result. So this is what I have. This is how it's looking so far. I decided to pre-cut the circles so it would be a lot easier. All I have to do is just keep peeling and keep sticking down. So this is the moment of truth. Oh, I can't wait. This is so satisfying. I'm now trimming the edge, the overhang of the flowers, and it's going to unstick itself from my craft mat there. So I'm using my ruler and my X-Acto knife to do that. But before I do that, I figured while it's still placed securely on the craft mat that I would try to find the center. It's 13 inches wide, it looks like, so I'm trying to find the center, and I'm gonna mark holes for the binding. And I'm not gonna use elastic binding because I don't have enough to do this project. You'll see that I'm gonna be using baker's twine to make a little binding to slip my notebook in. But I would definitely suggest getting some elastic because it looks so nice, and it'll look very consistent, cohesive. And Dollar Tree does have elastic cording. I just didn't buy it because I have no need for it. I'm trying not to buy stuff just for the sake of putting it in front of the camera. I'm trying to be selective of the things that I get from there. So I had baker's twine to use for now, and I have this other cord that I bought on Etsy a while ago, and that's going to be my closure. Because the cutting mat itself, I'm not bending it or folding it, but it needs something to close it because it'll just like pop back open, you know, in its original shape. One thing I forgot to mention as you're sticking down your vinyl, make sure to wipe the space first gently with your finger to remove any debris. because once you stick the vinyl on top of the debris, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. You'll see like it'll look like a pimple. So make sure that the surface is free of dust and debris and hair before you stick down all your little shapes. Here's the moment of truth. Are you guys ready? Oh my gosh. Look how cute. I couldn't believe it. You can round the corners. I didn't do that because I don't have a corner rounder yet, but I don't even think it would work. You could put a plate in the corner and use an X-Acto knife. As you can see, the hole punch could not punch through this. And did I use my Crop-A-Dile? Yeah, I used my Crop-A-Dile for the edges, but you can use an awl. And I had to use an awl for the middle hole to stick my closure through. So you'll see that. But yeah, if you have an awl, all you got to do is punch your holes with that. If you're going to do that, I would suggest to do your punch from the outside, because the plastic will kind of pop out and it'll look like this gnarly, like sharp edge. So definitely, if you're using an awl to make your holes, punch through the outside so that the inside is the rough part, the rough edge, and you won't see it. So I doubled up some baker's twine and I'm making my binding so that I can slip my notebook in. And I punched my holes, I think 3/4 of an inch from the edge. And I'm just I'm kind of tightly doing this. I'm tightly tying the knot around so it's not all loosey-goosey. Yeah, so now I'm closing it and I'm kind of getting a sneak peek of what it's gonna look like. I am so excited. And oh yeah, here I forgot about that middle hole. So again, I am finding the middle of the chopping mat, and I'm gonna punch another hole in the center of that. And see, I punched from the inside. Don't do that, punch from the outside of it. Because now I have this excess plastic, you know, poking out like a Audi belly button or something. So yeah, see, I'm trying to correct my work and push it the other way, but that's not working out very well. So yeah, if you're going to do a closure, this is how you do it. It took a lot of expanding the hole for me to get my elastic cord in there because the end was like really fuzzy. So you're going to want to put through the hole both tail ends of it and keep like a loop on the outside. You could also do this with just regular string as well, and then use that as like a closure that you tie closed. That would work as well. You would just make sure that the inside is knotted, and then you would cut the tails, the outside loop. You would cut that outside loop to make 2 tails, and then you can tie your journal so that the string you don't lose it or anything. So here I'm just adjusting the elastic to make it tight so that it will fit around my journal. And that's, yeah, it's just gonna take a little bit of trial and error. And I think I'm gonna be cutting this cover down even more because I decided I don't want this size of journal for my next journal in April. And I think I'm gonna try to do like a traveler's notebook standard size. I'm not really sure yet. But isn't it cute? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe I made this with Dollar Tree products. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, so you guys let me know what you think. What kind of design would you use? You're probably going to get some like debris that gets caught in the, you know, in your shapes. But all in all, hey, I think, you know, if you are about to go to a craft date, a retreat, a junk journal convention, if those even existed, and you didn't have a cover, oh my gosh, and you don't have time to like order something on Ammo or, you know, Walmart or whatever, travelersnotebook.com, you can just whip this up by going to Dollar Tree. I mean, hello. And people will be like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, that's so cute. And yeah, that pen is also from Dollar Tree, so this is like a little mini haul as well. But that strawberry pen, oh my gosh, I'm dying. Yeah, so hey, it works, you know? Just a little bit of ingenuity, you know, like MacGyvering. So I'm just taking a look at it, admiring my work, and I'm showing you that you can still slip the notebook out, even though I made that closure very tight. So you guys, let me know what you think. Would you make something like this? How would you change it up? What would you do? Would you do vinyl? I don't really know of anything else you could put on plastic that would stay. I mean, possibly some paint. But it's very hard to work with plastic as a craft item. I think vinyl is the only thing that you can really stick on there. So you guys let me know what you think and what you know about working with plastic. And I really like doing this project. This is one I've had in the back of my mind for a while, and got most of the products from Dollar Tree. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. I just did one video this week because I'm getting a little burnt out and some things have been going on personally. So, you know, I've missed you guys a lot. Remember that you are creative, you are artistic. It's within you. You just need to let it out. And I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. And please, again, let me know what you think. And subscribe and like the video, please, if you enjoyed this kind of content. I hope you're well. Until next time, bye.